Happy New Year and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a very highly anticipated video. You probably already know about it if you follow me on Twitter at Trin. On my Twitter, I asked you guys for submissions, requests, and some things that will be involved in videos. And much like the last time that I asked you guys for submissions for a specific Letterboxd video, this tweet got over 1.5 thousand replies, and even more so because on my next tweet where I quote tweeted it, it got over 800 replies, and this doesn't even count for the amount of DMs that I got, the quote tweets, like all of the above, people sending me stuff on my Patreon, on my Instagram. Like, you guys wanted your Letterboxd profiles to be looked at, and I'm here to look at them. Today, I'm going to be reviewing your Letterboxd profiles. To start the new year, I'm gonna be going in and reviewing your Letterboxd profiles, and I have a whole system on how I'm gonna rate them, and I'm gonna tell you them right now. Like my first Letterboxd video, which I will have a link in the description if you guys wanna go check that out, I will be ranking these on a 0 to 5 star rating, just like how you would rank a movie on Letterboxd. So this is going to include half stars, so 1 through 5 including half stars, so it could be a 2.5, a 3, etc. You understand. And I'm going to be taking a few things into consideration when I'm looking at your profiles. First is going to be your profile pic. Next is going to be bio, so whether or not you have a bio to begin with, whether or not it's a shitty movie quote or a very good movie quote. Next is the amount of films logged. I'm not going to be too harsh on this because me, myself, I don't even have that many films logged. I think that if I were to rank my own Letterboxd profile, I would probably get a really low score because I am going to be judging you guys on things that not even I have. Next is going to be watch list, how many films that you have on your watch list, whether that's an absorbent amount, so I'm like, you are not watching anything, or if that's a really small amount, so it's like, are you even watching? Are you even considering things that you're watching? Do you even know about the watch list? Because I know a lot of people don't know about the watch list. I'm going to be taking into consideration your list. So if you even have lists, are the lists good? Are they creative? I love a creative list. Some of my favorite things to come out of Letterboxd are the lists. I think they're very, very fun. Next is gonna be your rating average. So whether or not all the films that you log are at a 1, or all the films that you rate are at a 3, or all the films you rate are at a 5. I'm gonna be looking at that average and seeing how it compares, because I have a specific opinion on average ratings on Letterboxd and how I view as a person if your average falls within a certain number. So that is going to be highly considered when we are looking at your Letterboxd profiles. And lastly, of course, the most viral part to ever come out of Letterboxd, the top 4. This is the question that they ask everybody on the red carpet. Any interview that Letterboxd is giving out, they will ask this question of the celebrities, actors, actresses, directors, writers, everything, all from the bottom of the cast to the top of the cast. What are your top 4 Letterboxd movies? Sometimes people get asked this question multiple times. Sometimes they change their answers, but I'm going to be reviewing your top 4 on Letterboxd, and that is going to be very personally biased because I'm not IMDb. I do not know every single movie to ever exist. So this is just going to be going off of what I have seen and my opinions on those movies. Next is going to be deductions. So what am I going to deduct you for if I immediately see it on your profile? And this will come off pretentious, but there is a certain level of pretentiousness that you have to be to truly love Letterboxd. I feel like true Letterboxd users are a little bit of assholes. Like, they are inherently dicks, like, to their truth of their heart. Like, you cannot be an avid Letterboxd user. You cannot have a Letterboxd Pro account and not be a little bit of a dick. Deductions will be any MCU movie post 2022 in top 4. A deduction will be no list, because I feel like if you have no list, you're like not really using the app to its full capability. Majority of ratings below 3 stars. I feel like if you have an average rating of below 3 stars and you've watched hundreds and hundreds of movies, then you probably don't like movies, and maybe this app isn't for you. Like, maybe try Goodreads, maybe try something else, because I don't think you really like movies. Nothing on the watch list. I think that, again, if you're not utilizing the watch list, you are not utilizing the app properly, and maybe this is not the app for you. I'm gonna say this, even though it knocks me down a deduction, less than 1,000 films watched. I feel like if you are submitting your profile, you kind of want something to brag about. And if you are submitting your profile and you don't have 1,000 films watched, like maybe you're not a Letterboxd truther. And honestly, I don't have 1,000 films logged on my Letterboxd. So like, I'm not even that much of a truther either. Like, the call is coming from inside the house. Like, I'm not even on that level. But if you're submitting your profile to me wanting to be judged, like, I'm going to judge it. And that's one of the criteria that I put on my list. No logged movies in the past 3 months. If you are submitting your profile to me and you have not logged a movie within the past 3 months, immediate no. That's like at least a 2-star down on your whole entire rank. And lastly, for the top 4, I'm going to put a little bit of a criteria in it, because top 4, we see a lot of the same movies within top 4, and I wanted to kind of make that a challenge where I would deduct points based on if I saw one of these movies in the top 4. This is not to shame the movies or critique their status or their likability, because I believe that all these movies are great and there's a reason why they're in the top 4. But because I want to be pretentious and because I want to be like sort of mean and not just give everyone easy A's, I'm going to be putting a little bit of a deduction on these movies if they're in your top 4. First off, Lady Bird. That's going to hurt some people. That's going to hurt a lot of people, especially my fan base. Like, that's gonna hurt a lot of you guys. We have Fight Club, Interstellar, Joker, La La Land. La La Land is gonna really knock out some of these girls. Like, it's really gonna take them down. Parasite, American Psycho, any Scream movie. And that's like coming from me. Like, I love Scream. I used to love Scream. Like The Dark Knight, Black Swan, Whiplash, Star Wars A New Hope, E.T. would take out half of Hollywood. Because I feel like every single time I watch an interview of celebrities over a certain age, they always include E.T. Scott Pilgrim, wow. Mid-90s and Hereditary. But I wanted to put this little barrier on the profiles because I'm gonna be looking through so many, and if I can't have fun with it, then what's the point? First profile we have is Phoenix. Phoenix seems to have a picture of themselves, which I love. Like, I love when people have pictures of themselves on Letterboxd. It makes it feel more of like a social media platform rather than just a rating, like a review, like a Yelp. Like, I love it when people have a profile picture. Like, that is everything to me. The bio is aspiring movie enthusiast, currently watching Something Gay and Sad. It's all right. Does it give Tumblr 2014 vibes? Sure. Does it offend me? No. Would I like something better? Yes. Films logged, only 165 films logged and only 16 in 2024. I can't really like harp on anyone in 2024 because my films logged in 2024 was not that many because I was literally not using the app as much as I once did. So not that many films logged, not even breaking 200, which, you know, I don't know when this account was started. Maybe it was well, it wasn't. I don't know when this account was started. So, you know, maybe if they started in 2024, that's not really that bad of a starting point, 165 films, because I'm sure there's probably a lot of films that you watch throughout your lifetime that you haven't logged within your like watched. So I'll give you some time. Watch list is 131 films. So that brings you up a lot because even though your watch is only 165, your watch list is 131 films. So that means you want to watch a lot of films and there's a lot more that you're open to seeing, because if I saw that someone only had 165 films watched and then they only had like 50 or so films on their watch list, I'd be like, okay, like you're not really in this for the, you know, for the love of the game. Like, you're just messing around on here. No list. So I would, oh wait, they've liked lists. They haven't made lists. These are a lot of good lists that you've liked. Lesbian movies, a great list. So you haven't made any lists, but you've liked a lot of lists. So hopefully this gets you inspired to making lists, because I love lists that like, okay, I love lists that actually like recommend new movies to you, of course, but I also love like funny lists, like where it's just kind of like random lists that you just kind of made up in your brain. I think it adds a lot of character to your profile and it gets me to know a little bit more about your profile. I mean, honestly, this isn't your average rating, but this is your most rated. So 25% of your films you've rated a 4.5 stars, which is very high. That means out of like the 165 films that you've logged, you've rated 25% of them 4.5, which is 15, I believe, which is kind of really high. I don't know what mine is, but I feel like 4.5 stars is very high, because the difference between a 4.5 and a 5 to me is like leaps and bounds. Like, they're like completely different movies at that point. But like, if that's your truth, that's your truth. So on deductions, I would probably do like a 1.5 on deductions. So profile pic, I'm gonna give a 5. Bio, 3.5, and films logged 3. Like, nothing crazy, but nothing offensive. Watch list, Letterboxd, I will give a 4. You had a lot of films on list. 0 rating average, nothing offensive. Top 4, I'm gonna give a 3.5. Deductions, we had 1.5 from the immediate deductions, and then we had 0.5. It's like 3.2, but we'll do 3.5 minus the 0.5. And you end up your average rating being a 1.5. But I feel like that's a little harsh for someone that looks like they just started their profile fairly recently. So I'm gonna go with a good 2.5 as your overall rating, because I feel like there's a lot of improvement to be had, but it's not offensive or anything like that. This profile is to die for. I love the personalized or like customizable posters. If you didn't know, if you're a patron or a pro, you can customize the posters that you have logged. And I had it for a little bit by a generous viewer that gave to me a profile, which I appreciate, but it's been a year, so obviously I don't have that anymore and I don't want to pay for it. Letterboxd, if you want to give me a free profile, I would literally love that, but I don't have one. This is so pretty. I love the pink and the black and white. I think it's really cute. I love that your profile picture ties into it. That's a profile picture of Paul Mescal. I'm not super on the Paul Mescal train, but I love how it ties in. So I'm gonna give that profile pic, and I'm gonna tie in the aesthetic because it's obviously an aesthetic choice of choosing the customizable posters and the profile pic. So I'm gonna go with a 4. I'm gonna go with a 4 for the profile pic. The bio says I made Harris Dickinson blush, and if that's true, proof. I don't believe it, but I like it. I think it's like I already know the type of person you are because of it. So I'm gonna go 4 on the bio as well. I think it's kind of like, you know, if it's true, that's amazing. If it's a lie, then I hate you and I should have changed that rating. Films logged, you have 1,365 films logged. That is amazing. I'm jealous of you because I think I have like 900 or like 800 films logged. So that gets a big old 5 for me. You have 12 lists. Let's see what the lists are. You have Put a Pin in It, movies and limited series I've started but have yet to finish watching. So that's like a personal journey one. Caro's Cinema, a curated list of recommendations from Caro's Cinema. INFP and Film. This list is curated to show the films that have characters with INFP personalities in them. I love that because I love like personality quits, and I think I might have been INFP. Don't quote me on that. What is that melody? A list of films in which I own the score and are soundtracked on vinyl. Very cute. Okay, you have a lot of good lists, and they're very like curated, very like personality based. They have some but you're just like going on to watch that you're anticipating. They have some that you've already watched. You want to see 252 films, which is about double the amount of films from the last person. So I'm probably gonna double that score. I feel like my last score for that was like 3 or something. So I'll do 4 because I feel like that's like a good amount to have. It's not like anything crazy, but you have watched a lot of films. So for the over 1,000 films that you've watched, your rating average seems to be the most films that you have rated. This is actually like the mode of your ratings, not the average, but I'll just, you know, whatever. 28% of the films that you have rated 3 stars, which is it's a very finicky point to be in because I feel like we easily, when we're watching and consuming so many films, we get into this like, it was all right, but it wasn't the best. And I think like I fall into that category of like rating things out of 3 really easily. 335 films rated at 3 stars. So it's not the best like because it shows, and like looking over here, only 17 films at a 5 star and only 9 films at half a star rating. So you're really unlikely to rate something really good or really bad. So it kind of puts you in this middle thing of like, I kind of just like everything and I'm kind of okay with everything, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, do you love it or do you hate it? So I'm actually gonna go pretty low. I'm gonna go 2 for your ratings because I feel like having that chunk in the middle, granted you have watched a lot of films, but it kind of makes me believe that like you don't really like that much. Your top 4 does have a deduction for La La Land. La La Land being the first one. Now, don't get me wrong. I love La La Land. But it's in so many people's top 4. I can't stand it. Everything kind of is really similar. Little Woman, About Time, La La Land, kind of this like the one that got away trope, very sad but romantic, and you know, about chances and the road not taken, if you will. And then Challengers is like, it's like boom out of nowhere. Like And I guess in a way it does kind of have a similar vibe of like The Road Not Taken, but with a little bit of a different, harder exterior, right? Because it's a little bit more about, you know, actually no, I feel like they're all very similar in that aspect. So what I would say about your top 4, I would get a little bit more variety in. If you like these films and these are your top 4, I'm not gonna like rag on you for that because like that's your personal opinion. If I'm looking at profiles, in my personal opinion on Letterboxd top 4s, it's supposed to be like your kind of overarching opinion on cinema in general. This kind of like hones you into a genre, which is fine if that's the perceived. If that's the way you want to be perceived, that's fine. And you pretty much skate past all the deductions other than And you pretty much skate past all the deductions other than La La Land being in your top 4, which is like, is that the most offensive thing in the world? No, but you know, no MC Moon. Like you have lists, majority of ratings are not below 3 stars. You have stuff on your watch list, you know, you have more than 1,000 films watched, no logged movies within the past 3 months. You have movies logged within the past 3 months. You literally watched 2 movies this year already. Plus 4, plus 5, plus 5, plus 4, plus 4, plus 2, plus 3.5, minus, oh, so 31 divided by 7. What the fuck? 4.4 is your rating. So your rating for your profile is gonna be a good 4.5 stars. That's a very high rating for a profile. Love it. Thanks, Caroline, for submitting your profile. This profile goes by the name of Collecting Souls. They have a dog as their profile picture. I'm assuming that's their dog because I can't recognize it from any, if it is a dog, I don't even know. Profile picture, it kind of looks scary because I don't have my glasses on and it looks like the dog is smiling. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like the dog is smiling. It's a little scary. I'm not gonna rank you too high on your profile picture because it's a little bit scary. 3.5. Bio is frame by frame. It's a bio. I honestly don't think I'm gonna get any really great bios from Letterboxd because like who is really putting that much thought into their Letterboxd profile, like bio? Like I'm not. Like my bio would be a 0. I think mine is the same bio I have on everything, which is I have bad taste in movies. And if I went on someone's Letterboxd profile and they literally said from the beginning I have bad taste in movies, 0 out of 10. Like that's awful. So I'm gonna just go average. I'm gonna go 3. Films logged, you have 306 films logged, 6 this year. So that's actually kind of a lot for the beginning of the year already. I think it's the 8th that I'm filming this. Yeah, it's the 8th. So you've already watched like almost a movie a day. If you did watch them every single day, I'm not sure. That projects your films logged this year to be pretty high if you're already watching that many in the beginning of the year, but it rapidly declines throughout the year because then you start getting busy, you start getting work. It's very good, but it's not amazing. Like if you've had this profile for like 5 years, I'd be like, what the F? But if you've only had it for like a 2 years or something, like it's fine. So I'm gonna give 2.5. I feel like that's a good amount. Watch list is more than the amount of films you have logged. So that's actually very promising. It means that you want to watch a lot more films. Some of these films, like what haven't you seen yet? And I'm seeing a lot of variety in the films you have logged. Lots of different genres, lots of different time, you know, lots of different years. You know, you have some classics like 12 Angry Men, but you have some like unserious ones like, you know, Slumber Party Massacre. Red Eye is a super good movie if you haven't seen it. Like Red Eye is like literally kept me on the edge of my seat. But you have like a lot of different films. You have some foreign films, international films. Like I'm gonna give you 4. The list, you have about 6 lists, but none of the lists have that many films, if I'm being honest, except the comfort movie one. So the bio of this one is, so the topic is comfort movies, which I love a comfort movie list. I have like 20, I think, like comfort movie lists. So, and I just keep making them because why not? Fear of the Dark is a good topic for a list. Childhood films, always a good one. I love it when people compile all the childhood films. I love this. I think it's great. It's nothing too spectacular. I feel like we can like up the amount of films on each list by a lot to kind of garner more of an overall feeling of the vibe of the list, but I like it. I like it. Your rating mode is 78 films out of 5 star. What's going on, Collecting Souls? What's going on? You like that many films that much? Like honestly, like not saying that it takes a lot for me to give a 5 stars because I be giving 5 stars out like they're candy, but 78 films and not a lot of films in the 2-star rate, in the 1-star rating, half-star rating, 1.5-star rating, 2-star rating, even 2.5. Like you don't have anything, like you don't start getting into like higher numbers until literally 4 stars. So that means you're liking a lot of movies. Like, you love movies. Like, out of the 300 films you watch, like, you love them. Like, you freaking love them. And let's see what these movies are. Oh, well, they're kind of like really good movies, actually. I like look at them, I'm like, actually, like, they kind of age. And your top 4, you have Fleabag, which is a show. It is a show. And like, should that be a deduction within itself? I don't know. I don't know. You guys tell me, should that be a deduction within itself that it's a show and not a movie? We have The Substance, Whiplash, and Narnia, Prince Caspian, which I love Narnia. I love Narnia, Prince Caspian. Whiplash is in our deduction. It is in our deduction of things that are in your top 4 that will get you a deduction. So that's a deduction of 0.5. The Substance and Narnia being in the same top 4, love that. I think the like juxtaposition of the two is brilliant. And I can't even really have an opinion on Fleabag because it's not a movie. This is the movie app. So deduction 0.5, 0.5. If you started at a 5, 0.5 plus 3 plus 2.5 plus 4 plus 3.5 plus 3 plus 3 equals 5 by 7. Puts you to 3.2, so let's just say 3.5 minus a 0.5 for the deduction of Whiplash in your top 4. That gives you an overall rating of 3. Thank you, Collecting Souls, for submitting your profile. I ended up on Louis. Let's see Louis's profile. Louis is a patron, so let's see what this patron's got in store for us. Louis, let's look at your profile picture. I don't know who that is. I think, honestly, the profile picture is a stupid rating that I put in, and I don't even know why I did it. But, gonna give you a 4. I don't know. Bio, Rise and Shine, Adam, Saw, 2004. I love that. I think we could have literally nixed out where it's from because I feel like everyone should know it's from Saw 2004, right? Like, I feel like people should know that. So, like, I would take out the quotation marks, take out the Saw 2004, because if you're on Letterboxd and you don't know if that's from Saw, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm gonna do 4 because honestly, I've been missing the movie quotes. I feel like a lot more people should have movie quotes as their bio on Letterboxd. Like, it's the one time it's appropriate. Film logs, you have 1,249 films logged. That is a big number, and you've already watched 5 this year. So that means you are putting in the work. Like, you own businesses. Like, you are putting in the work. So for that, I think I did 5 for Caroline, who had like over 1,000 films logged. So I'm gonna do 5. Anything above 1,000, I think I'm just gonna do 5 because I feel like that's amazing. Watch list. This is the most films on a watch list we have seen. This is almost 1,000 films on your watch list, which is crazy. Being as you've watched so many films, you also have so many films that you want to watch, and you have a lot of them. You have a lot of foreign films, you have a lot of old films, even some new ones, like a lot of animated films as well. Like, you're putting in the work, Louis, and I appreciate your work. 5 lists. Let's see how many lists you have. I think it just said up there 22 lists. We have horror favorites, rewatch, top 24 first watches of 24, top 24 first watches of 2024, horror log, 2024, 24 releases watches, 2024 release watches ranked. Recs for Mama and Papa, that's a really good list. I love that. I kind of want to make that as well. Evil Dead ranked. Vamp Watch, that's a really good one. Roomy movie night. Then you have your bunch of, 2023 watches from October, first watches, Scream ranked, top 20. Some of these list ideas are super creative and I really like them. You have rated 23%, so 181 films that you have watched a 4 star. So you're a 4-star person. Like, even just looking at like your pinned reviews, he is 4 stars. Like, you seem a little unwilling to give a 5-star, I'm gonna be honest, because it drops off really quickly after 4 stars. You go immediately down to like 75 for 4.5, and then even less for 5 stars, and then like almost none at like a 0.5 star or 1 star, which by all means, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a lower score there. I'm gonna give a 3. And next is your top 4. So your top 4, you have Saw, typical. That was kind of like spoiler from the bio, but I love someone that's true to themselves. Dog Day Afternoon from 1975, An American Werewolf in London, and Fargo. This is like kind of a really good mix because you have something kind of really well known like Fargo, which is like, Everybody loves Fargo. And then you have American Werewolf in London, which is really well known, but I don't think a lot of people say it's their favorite movie. You know, you have Dog Day Afternoon, which seems to be very loved. And then you have Saw, which like, it kind of comes out of nowhere, but I love it that it's like your top spot. Like it's kind of like all of these a little bit more old cult classic movies that kind of a lot of people, it's like critically acclaimed. And then you have Saw out of nowhere, which is like a little bit more of an underdog. But none of your top 4 films are within my immediate basic movies in top 4. So you escape the deduction of that, and then you kind of escape the deduction of everything else as well. You have a lot of films on your watch list. You have more than 1,000 films watched. You have logged movies within the past 3 months. You've logged 6 movies within this year. 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 equals 9 plus 7, 4.1. 4.1 is the average of those numbers. I'm gonna bump that up to a 4.5 just to be consistent. And I'm actually gonna give you a bonus because you did not have any deductions. So that means you get ranked all the way up to a 5. Congratulations, you are our first 5 of the day. This is Sophia's account. They're a patron, so you know they mean business. If you're paying for Letterboxd, you mean business. Profile pic is great. Again, I don't know why I included profile pic in the ranking, but I just kind of have to stick with it because I've already done it for like 4 other accounts. So I think from now on, it just always has to be like a 5 or a 4 because I don't know why I even included it. Bio is I think, I feel, I suffer. Lynch head crowing body. I love that. I love a link. It also has a location which states Twin Peaks. A lot of thought and effort put into it, and I really like that bio. So I'm gonna actually give that bio a 5 because quick to the point, but it let me in a lot of different ways. And this is the most films on a watch list. This is 1,259 films on the watch list. Hey, that is a lot. I'm gonna go low key, I have to go 5 on the films logged, and then I'm gonna go 5 on the watch list because that's the most we've seen. And list, you have 22 lists. Let's see what the list looks like. Coen Brothers ranked, favorites, vampires. I love how many profiles we're seeing that just have like vampire lists because I love vampire movies. Alien, so the Alien movies, best found footage. I have a found footage list as well. Mine is called I Am Lost, but I Am Found. Favorite horror, Don't Turn Away from Love, romance list, physical copies, another physical copy list, people who have their own DVD collection. Love that. 412 films in this. You have a lot of space, queen. You have a lot of space in your house. Criterion collection, best short films. I love that. I need to do that. That's something that I need to take a note from. Like I need to start watching more short films and getting more familiar with them and ranking them because there's so many good short films out there. There's so many amazing short films that are so well done and that also become amazing films later that get greenlit for like full feature length films. And like it's because they were made into a short film at first. Like Whiplash is a great example of that. Like that was a short film at first and then it got greenlit for a full feature length film. So I need to be on my game with that stuff. Like I need to actually like watch them and seek them out. Like there's a whole category, the Oscars for them. Like of course they mean something. Medieval watch list, like you have a very wide range of cinema that you watch and I love to see it. I love those lists. That gets a 5 from me. 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. Your average ranking has a very high incline. It's very much like, no, I'm not ranking anything bad. And then all of a sudden you peak at around 3 stars, 3 stars, 3.5. 4 stars, 4.5, and then 5 stars. Actually, the most films that you have ranked at is 5 stars. You have 281 films. That is 27% of the 1,600 that you have watched at 5 stars. So that means that you're like a real movie truther. You really like movies. And even, you know, the movies on here, like they're pretty high rankings except for Failure to Launch. Like don't shit on my queen, Failure to Launch. Like I love that movie. And one thing that I'm leaving out on this reviews is that we have to kind of take into consideration that a lot of people like watch stuff and they log stuff without rating them. Like you can even see on this, like the films that they've watched, like The Last of Us isn't logged or ranked. I Am Clancy is not like rated. One Day is not rated. Like there's a lot of, and that goes for all the profiles, that a lot of the profiles don't star rank their logs sometimes. So we're kind of missing out on that as well. And your top 4, you have Let the Right One In from 2008. You have The American Friend from 1977. You have Lost Highway from 1997. And then you have Pulse from 2001. Love that you're picking different posters. I think they look really good. Large variety in time frames. So these come from a few different decades of film. You have one from the 70s, one from the 90s, 2000s, and 2000s. So I haven't watched any of these films. So that probably tells you right away that I shouldn't be the one reviewing your Letterboxd profile. But I'm gonna go 4. There's none that I've seen, but I trust you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 5, 25 plus 8, 33 divided by 7 equals 4.7. So the average is basically 5. But let's see if there's anything on that I can get you on with the deduction. You have lists. Majority of ratings are not below 3. You have stuff on your watch list. You have 1,000 films ranked. No immediate basic movies in top 4. This one gets another 5. 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. Really quickly, I want to interrupt here that as I am ranking these and as I'm kind of like being pretentious about all this stuff, I want you guys to know that it's like all in lighthearted fun. I know that I am coming from a place of like, I made these like ranking rules to be kind of impossible. Like they're not supposed to be really easy to gain points on, and like I kind of made it a challenge because I didn't want to just give everyone like 5 stars for everything. But I want to quickly interject here by saying that like when I'm talking about like not a lot of films logged or anything, I know that my standpoint is a very privileged standpoint to be able to watch a lot of films, and even mine is not over 1,000 films, but I do want to have some sort of understanding and a self-awareness that being able to watch a lot of movies, especially when it's not for your job, is a privilege. And by no means am I trying to be actually pretentious about people not watching a lot of films. Like that, it's very much just jokes and trying to have a lighthearted fun game of rating your Letterboxd views. I never want it to come off as like, if you don't watch a lot of films, like you can't review films. Like anybody can enjoy films. If you watch 2 movies a year or 1,000, you can have fun enjoying films and rating them on Letterboxd. I never want that to be my message sent out, that, you know, there is a certain quota of things that you have to do to be able to watch and enjoy and critique and review movies, because that's never how I ever want that to come across. I have no qualifications to review movies. I got very lucky to be able to do it on YouTube, but I do not have any certain qualifications to be doing this, and you don't need to. It's all fun and games, but I wanted to quickly interject that because I feel like in these kind of fun games, it can come off as like I'm really being like, you can't review movies if you don't do XYZ. Like, they're movies. It's Letterboxd. It's fun. Actors that you love and enjoy that are literally like the backbone of Hollywood don't watch that many movies. It's fine. Like, it's not the end of the world. Next is Huge as Mammoth, also known as Nearpalm on TikTok and Twitter alike. I just dropped my app. Love them so much, but let's review this Letterboxd profile unbiased, because I am unbiased, if anything. Profile picture, love. Again, I'm just gonna put 5 for every single profile picture because why did I even include that? No bio. This is the first no bio we've seen. No bio, 0. No bio is a 0. No bio is a 0. Films logged, almost breaking that 1,000 at 876 films. Almost at that, breaking 1,000. So I'm not gonna give a 5-star because obviously 1,000 plus is 5-star. I'm gonna give this a good 4 stars because you're like so close to 1,000 that like I'm not gonna critique you so much because you've already had 4 this year. So you're already like stacking up to break 1,000 probably this year. Next is watch list. How many's on your watch list? Only 2. Wow. Like, that's a really big shocker. Like, I'm really shocked. I would have never thought that this would be the one. 1 star. At least you have anything on your watch list. I'll give you that. 4 list. but a lot of them are ranking ones. I would love to see you make a list of white people did what? White people did what? Where?
White people did what? White people got stuck where?
I would love that. I would love if that series continued on into Letterboxd. So please make that happen. I'll give it a 2.5. Rating average is all over the place. Love to see it. I love to see when people finally have some oomph, like 29 half stars, you have 21 stars, 130 3 stars, 73.5. And I really like this rating. Like, I like this variety. I like that there's some oomph within the 1 star and half star rating. Like, I like seeing that like amount of ups and downs within the ratings. I think that's very, I like that. I like seeing that. I'm gonna give it a 4. Top 4, you have Clute from 1971, The Big City from 1963, Fire from 1996, and Ju-on The Grudge from 2002. So again, I like seeing that. I like it seeing that a lot of people have like this variety of time within their top 4. So I'm gonna give that a 4.5. Again, I haven't seen these movies, so maybe I'm the one that should be ranked. Maybe I'm the one that should have a deduction. I mean, you just passed the nothing on the watch list. Like 2 films really got you out of that deduction, but whatever. No list, you have a list. Pretty much you skated by with no deductions. So let's add up this ranking. 5 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2.5 plus 4 plus 4.5, 21 divided by 7. So overall, your score for your Letterboxd profile is a whopping 3 stars. Thanks for submitting your profile. No, you're joking. You're joking. No way. No fucking way. Oh no, you're sick. No way. Letterboxd down as I'm filming the fucking Letterboxd video. Of course that would happen to me. Of course. Tweeting now. Tweeting now. Have to tweet now. Letterboxd down. Why is Letterboxd always down? Letterboxd down. Oh my god. Letterboxd has like the worst servers. I swear their app fucking like malfunctions every single month. And you knew I was making this video. You liked my tweet. You retweeted my tweet talking about asking for Letterboxd profiles. You knew I was making it. You knew this is what I was gonna do. And now it's crashing. Brief hold for Letterboxd to fix itself. If it will even fix itself. This might have to be a 2-parter video because I might not be able to make the last part. Okay, it's been like 45 minutes since Letterboxd was down. They're back up. I fully made dinner. I made chicken sausage orzo pasta, if you guys wanted to know when I ate it. Next profile is Emmy, their patron. Profile pic, of course, just gonna go with a 5. Bio just is my favorite films and I like movies. Yeah, I think we all like movies. Yeah, that's why we're here, Emmy. So it's gonna get a 2 because films logged, you have 958 films logged. That means that you are almost breaking that 1,000 mark. So I'm gonna go with, I can't give you a 5 because you haven't broken it because I would also be under the 1,000 mark. So I'm gonna give you a 4 for that because they're almost at there. Watch list, you have 592 films. And again, I'm seeing a lot of variety within this. And that's what I like to see out of a watch list. And I know mine probably doesn't even have that much variety like I'm asking of these people, but I like seeing older films, I like seeing foreign films, I like seeing, you know, animated films, I like seeing classic films, like films, you know, like Schindler's List is on here. It's like, it's almost like this thing of like almost everyone has seen Schindler's List, but I haven't, and neither have you. So it just kind of, I like that variety within like a watch list because that's why I put things on my watch list, is to remember to watch these older films or, you know, lesser known films. It's like, I know I'm gonna watch Wicked for good. Like, I don't need to put that on my watch list. Like, I'm gonna see it when it comes out. You know what I mean? You have the typical favorites, 2024, Urgent for January. I don't know what that means. Top 10s, weird freaks and weird freaky movies. Like, I already see Crash in there, which is like, you know, speak your truth, and some typical ranking films. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too unique, maybe other than the Al Pacino hotness. I'm gonna go 3 because they're not offensive, but there's a substantial amount of lists. But what I find a lot from lists is that we get into this heavy ranking list vibe, and I want some creativity. I want to see some unique list. That's what I want to see. This is such a beautiful like rank. Like it's so perfectly like linear up and then down. Like it literally looks so fantastic. Like what a wonderful graph to look at. And you obviously peak at 4 stars, which I feel like once I get into this area, like most people do peak at 4 stars. 3 to 4 stars is where usually people peak. But for the sole visual of that, I'm gonna give it a 5 because that is so pretty to look at. And none other than your top 4, you have After Hours from 1985, Secretary from 2002, Dead Poet Society, and Trainspotting. I love it that Secretary is in your top 4. Secretary is one of my favorite movies that is truly like the definition of like a weird movie, but like it understands sensuality and sexuality so well. And I really do like it. It's one of the few movies that can do such a sensual, sexual plot without it being like cringe. Like it is such a good movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal does an amazing performance, and it's like one of the movies that like I kind of like wait to recommend to people because, you know, it's not for everyone, but like if you're down for like a freaky movie, like this is it in a way that's like very classy almost. Like, does she pee herself in the movie because she's following his orders? Yes, but it is a very good movie, and those who get it, and I get you. And then it's like Dead Poet Society right next to it, like such a completely different vibe, but I love it. Just for Secretary being in your top 4, like that gets a 4 for me. Like you ate that. Let's add up the score. +2 +4 +4 +3 +5 +4 27. You come down to a 3.78, very similar to last. So Emmy, you get an overall 4 stars for your Letterboxd profile. Next is Mariana. Of course, profile pic gets a 5. Bio is I am tasteless. And location, you would get the same score as me on bio, which is a 2. I'm also going to review my profile so you guys don't think I'm just like a really pretentious bitch. Next is films. You have 1,016 films watched. That is amazing. Watch list, you only have 60 films. 60 films on your watch list is not a lot for how many you have watched. And low-key, a lot of them are like, in my opinion, like classics. Like you haven't seen She's the Man. So film, since it's above 1,000, that's a 5. The watch list though, only being 60 with 1,000 films watched, there's so many more movies that I know you want to see. Add them to your watch list. I could add 60 films to my watch list in one day. Next is list. You have 1 list, and that's only for Best Picture. Make some more lists. We'll give you 1 because there's 1 list. Average rating, you peak at about 77 movies ranked out of 4 stars. What is going on with everyone on 4 stars? Like everybody loves giving movies 4 stars. And top 4 is looking crazy. And I say crazy because this is not a top 4. This is a top 3. Never in my days have I seen such a thing. Now, are the movies so bad? No. It's got Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's got Poor Things, and it's got Luca. I'm sure you could have found another film for this. Luca in the top 4 is interesting. I've never seen anyone put Luca in the top 4 just because I don't know. I don't think it was a standout movie to me in that way, but I'm not gay and Italian. Like that could have really changed something for me if I was gay and Italian and I watched Luca. Poor Things is good. I don't know if Poor Things would be good enough for me to put it in my top 4, but because you only have 3 movies in your top 4, like gonna have to deduct some points. That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna only give you a 3 because there's only 3 movies. That's crazy. You have a list technically. Majority of ratings aren't below. You have stuff on your watch list. You have more than 1,000 films watched, and you do have films logged within the past 3 months. You actually watched 5 this year, which is a lot. So we're just gonna total up your score. 5 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 equals 5 plus 7. And overall, Mariana, you get 3 stars on your Letterboxd profile. Lastly, I'm going to be reviewing my own Letterboxd profile based on the criteria that I gave you guys. Profile picture, not too bad. Is this from when I was a very young child? Yes. Was I like 18 when I took this picture? Yes. So I'm going to knock it down points for that because I need to update that. No bio. I thought I had a bio and I don't even have a bio. 0. Films logged, 928 films. We're almost to 1,000. I feel like I can break it within this year to break 1,000 films, but since it's not 1,000, it's almost at 1,000. Next is watch list. I have 562 films on my watch list. I feel like that's pretty good. It's nothing too crazy. Could I bump it up by a lot? Yeah. I think I have a good mix of films. I have some foreign, I have some old, I have some new, I have some, you know, a lot of times I'll put a lot of Academy Award nominated films on here so I can check them out. Do I ever get around to them? Probably not. 500, 500, it's about half. So I'll do a 3. It's a little over half of 1,000, so I'll do a 3. Next is list. Lists are fucking crazy. I have a lot of bad lists because I forget that I made them. Movies I've watched on a first date, but it progressively gets worse. Love this list, like 10 out of 10 lists. Like I saw someone else make it, so it wasn't my original idea, but I loved it. I'm Lost, But I Am Found. Found footage list. Amazing. Guess the Connection of Dune Part 2 and Little Women. Leave a comment down below. I have a 2022 ranked, but I never finished the rank. Pure comfort films that I made when I first made the Letterboxd review, so I don't know how like accurate that is now. And I have another pure comfort down here, which I made even prior to that. Young Asian girl finds out more about her mother's past and the aunties come together and help said daughter reconnect with her mother. Great list. Jesse Eisenberg gets chased around an amusement park. Amazing. Joseph Gordon-Levitt films ranked on how attractive he is within them. And then these were when I first made Letterboxd, so movies I watched in 2020 and for when you feel lost. So I do fall into the category of a lot of ranked and like 2020, 2024, like different like movies of the year. I think I have a good mix of like half and half good list and bad list. Like I need to like sort it out and like organize them. So I'm not gonna give myself like a great score. I'm gonna give myself a 3 because it's not amazing, but it's not the worst. It's definitely giving like 3. My ratings are kind of all over the place. My most, I was giving a lot of shit to other people who had like a lot of films ranked at 5 stars. I have 191 films ranked at 5 stars, with that being 24% of all the films that I've watched. So I'm a little bitch because I was like, guys, like you just like everything. No, look in the mirror, girl. Like I like everything. I literally like everything. And I don't have like, I have 9 films at 1.5 stars. I have 15 half-star ratings, which is kind of a lot. That's 2%. I'm gonna give myself a 3 on the ranking because it's kind of ugly looking. And lastly, my top 4 films. I am very proud of my top 4. I think my top 4 is great. You know, argue with me in the comments if you want to, but I think my top 4 is amazing. I have The Joy Luck Club from 1993. I have Raw from 2016. The Virgin Suicides from 1999, and I have Juno from 2007. I think this is like something that I'm super proud of and I don't really change. The only one that kind of changes in and out is The Virgin Suicides. The Virgin Suicides I kind of replace. Sometimes I'll put Little Miss Sunshine and sometimes I won't, just depending on the day and how I feel. I think I took out Little Miss Sunshine because I find it to be very similar to the feeling that I get when I watch Juno. Like it's a very similar feeling. And The Virgin Suicides gives me a complete opposite feeling. So I interjected that instead because it's a little bit more broader of an emotion through it. I also love how the colors kind of go together. They're all in the same color scheme. I like that. I think I could have a little bit more variety from time, decade. I feel like I'm very much just like 1990s and on. Like I don't really have a lot pre 1990s, so I feel like I could open that up, and I could definitely open up with a little bit more foreign films because Raw is French, but like that's not really saying much. Like low-key, like just watching French cinema is not really like, you're not a worldwide global connoisseur if you just watch French films and like Western films. Like I could do a lot better in that, and you know, but I am very proud of my top 4. Like I'm like, that's a good top 4. Like she ate. So I'm gonna give myself a 4 for my top 4 because I feel like that's good. And then I have to give myself deductions. So the only one that I have really is the less than 5,000 films. The only one I have to deduct is less than 1,000 films, which is 0.5. So I'll do 4 plus 4.5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 minus 0.5. 21 divided by 7. And my score for my own Letterboxd is 3 stars. So if you are one of the profiles that I reviewed today and you beat my Letterboxd profile score, make sure you leave a comment down below and share your results with me on Twitter or Instagram. I would love to see if I reviewed your profile and if you agree with it or if you disagree with my opinion on your Letterboxd profile. This was a super fun video to make. I would love to make it again. So if you would like me to do it again, please let it be known. Comment down below, tweet at me, send me DMs. Like, I only really thrive if you guys make noise for something that you want to see. And I actually really loved filming this video. I know you guys sent tons of profiles and I would love to get to more of them. Maybe I could do a live stream one day where we just go through them all, because it's very fun to me to just go through the system. Once again, I want to say this is all jokes. It's all fun. I know reviewing Letterboxd profiles, it's just very silly. It's not supposed to be some real critique on your film knowledge or anything. I'm sure many of the film profiles that I watched are very well educated on film and much more educated than film than I am. But this is just supposed to be a fun, silly video. And I hope you guys liked it. If you guys want me to do it again, comment down below and maybe you'll see another tweet from me asking for more Letterboxd profiles. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys had a happy holidays. Make sure you subscribe so you can see more videos from me and follow me on all my social medias, because you never know when I'm going to be asking for submissions for videos and you never want to miss out on the opportunity to be featured in a video. And that is it for today. I will see you in my next video.